Hello, and welcome back. So, I said, well, in the last episode, admittedly, we're gonna print a new dupe. This is gonna be pretty much a fresh start on this planet. So yeah. I think Gossman is a better choice. By the way, we're super lucky getting both athletics dupes, which is probably the best starting, well, one of the best starting dupes you can get. I think we're going to print Gossman. And also, I'm just going to note, I am going to print dupe every time I can print one. So I'm just going to force a print. Okay, so when it comes to like saving a base, well, first off, I'm pretty sure that most people here starved. Yeah, starvation. Andy couldn't really get food under control, so that's definitely something that I'm gonna look at. But the first thing that you should do almost every time is just to deconstruct or pause any tasks that they could do. I also think, yeah, they have one skill point, so Gossman, do I just choose one? No, I think I don't just choose one. I think it's fine. Algae terrariums famously take a lot of dupe labor. So yeah, we're gonna deconstruct these because they take a lot of dupe labor. Yeah, from water and algae, and they don't really produce a lot. Plus we have tons of oxygen here. We're not going to worry about that. I'm also going to deconstruct this wire because it's just broken. Where are you going? I'm guessing, okay. How about we don't, and you put you back on one. Where are you going? Here. I think I'll allow it. I'll allow Gossman to move along. Let's see. We have a great hole. We don't really need a hospital. Barracks are fine. Just gonna look around a bit. So Gossman should be on her way to get some sleep wheat. Should be pretty safe. There's a battery here, which is very nice. I think I'm gonna let them power this, and we'll set it on a low-ish. Okay, go deconstruct. And this is full. Okay, that's perfect, I think. And yeah, she can't cook, so I'm gonna... Okay, I'll leave it. Don't think. Yeah, I think that's fine. But I am going to give Gossman grilling. Because, yeah, they will starve. And I don't want that. Okay, so another thing that is good to do is to check in on what resources you have. So I'm going to take out anything that is not important, like carbon dioxide. I'm not sure how easily you can see this. I might put it somewhere blank. So carbon dioxide, we don't need to track that. We don't need to track water. We probably don't need to track sand. Polluted water, oxygen masks. So we have 111 of these, which is pretty insane. We don't need to track our oxygen, meal ice. I think these are perfectly fine to track: coal, copper, dirt, fertilizer, and gold. Amalgam. And I'm guessing that's slime lung? Nope. Exposure. Okay. Going to eat. Where are you going to eat? Okay. I feel like you could cook. I'm just not gonna. Another thing is, if you haven't set up good schedules, you should. So this is how I've set it up. Why? Okay. So I'm gonna put her in a working schedule, this one. So they should start working again. I don't. Okay. Not even gonna bother with these. Okay. Yeah. So they can go do actually productive stuff. They shouldn't be hungry. Well, they shouldn't be that hungry. Yeah, that's 3 cycles worth of food. Now, okay, we should go through this and figure out what we need. Coal is always a good one to keep track of. Dirt is kind of important. 5.1 tons means that if we wanted to plant meal ice, it would run out pretty quickly. Okay, we can use iron ore to make steel at some point, which is very important. We have a lot of, well, we don't have a lot of algae. I read that wrong. I thought that was tons, but it's less than a ton. So that's not too good. And we haven't made steel here yet. So Andy has never made steel here. That's fine. Okay. And they should just be cooking for quite a while. We should have enough calories for ages. We'll lower this down. And yeah, they can go do some other stuff. Again, we deconstruct this just so that they don't have errands coming here to store stuff or whatever. Also, at some point, we will have to come in and make sure that Gossman has the correct priorities, because obviously there's only one of them right now, but you should distribute your work between dupes that are good at doing those things. So that's just a little heads up. We're not going to do it today yet, but we'll do it once we have maybe 4 dupes. Okay, so while Gossman cooks, we're pretty safe on our food. We're going to get a print soon, and I have been checking the overlays, and one of them the temperature, as you can see, it's pretty hot around the middle of the base. I don't really want to dig up our ice biomes. I don't really want to dig up our ice biomes quite yet. They're pretty nice, useful. So I want to use this cool slush geyser to just accumulate water and cooling, because this is natural cooling, of course. It generates just new cold polluted water, which is very useful. So I'm just going to convert this into a big tank, essentially. It's not permanent, of course. And there's our cue to print. We want a... Well, it's going to have to be you, isn't it? Yeah, we don't really have a choice. They're both pretty bad as a starting dupe, so there's not much to do about that. Okay, that's cold water. Well, it's not super cold, but the new water should be cold. And that's pretty much all that matters. And deconstruct like these random little bits, just they can go. Ah yes, a low morale dead person. Okay, I'm not sure how water spilled onto there, but that's fine. We can mop it up. The stress is 0. I think pretty much just thanks to the Great Hole. They are, they've got enough morale. And we have Slime Lung, of course. Okay. A third dupe. Now that is pretty good, but they are flatulent. Whereas this, quick learner, which I think is pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with May. Pacifist, completely fine. And, okay, welcome. Remember to put them on a different schedule. There we go, May. And I'm going to give Nisbet. I'm going to give them hard digging. Just so that they can dig some stuff out. Like that. I'm going to start deconstructing most of the main base. Though I might not deconstruct this room quite so fast. Let May sleep in it. But we're going to start laying out the floors. So, as is typical, we're doing 4 tile high floors, just like our previous base. And it's going to be kind of starting off from the printer as a baseline. I've also looked, and I've pretty much decided that this ladder run is the best ladder run, because this one runs into, I think, some kind of geyser down here. We don't know what it is yet. I'm not gonna cheat, do it the cheaty way. So we'll have to wait and see what that's about. So this is our main ladder run because it has the clearest path, at least for now. We can always change stuff around later if we need to. This one just about misses the hermit, which is pretty cool. So it's probably gonna stay this ladder as our main. Okay, so I wasn't paying attention, but the printing pod just came back. So we're gonna pick Doctor, why do we have two doctors? I guess it's gonna be you. You're gonna be our builder. Pay our builder. Oh yeah, we've reached 4 dupes, so we're definitely gonna give them some jobs. Like I said, pay is building. We have, I think May digs? No, Nisbet digs. And Gossman is our cook. So that leaves May, who can operate. So if May operates, that means that they'll be on the manual generators because they don't really have much else to do. And we were going to give pay building. There we go. So we're just going to keep building this out, and while you make some progress, I'll probably be back. Let's just put a bridge down here so that it forces the water to the lavatory. Building impaired. Oh. It's got to be you. Tidying and digging. Ashcan. Probably our second digger. And also, you need to go to another schedule. Okay. Ashcan can get digging. That should be fine. Again, I'm not really keen on giving them too much. We'll give you Abyssalite digging because that's useful. And yeah, we've made a bit of a great hole. Well, once this gets built, it will be a great hole. And yeah, we've deconstructed the old stuff. And we don't remove tombstones. Okay, you are running all the way down, which means that we need to refill on our fridge. So Ashcan's gone to get it. And so has May. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. And you can go back down to 1. I think the goal for this episode is just going to be to get a power source. Because once that's done, I'll print 8 dupes. Because for now, 8 is a good number for future plans. I'm printing at least 6 because I do want to use the Somnium synthesizer at some point. So I'm just going to keep printing until I get to 8 for now. Okay, so we are back. And this is insane how bad some of these are. Like, construction. Okay, that's not very good. So what do? Cooking. Great. You have strength. And you can grill, which is pretty nice. But you eat more. And then we have rocketry plus researching. Which I think I'm... but he's narcoleptic. And that is the problem. I think I'm just gonna have to take Camille. Just for the science, pretty much. And they'll probably be the new cook. Okay. That works. I think they're gonna be the cook. Or we'll give them science so they level up. That should work. You're also going to get science for leveling up. I think same goes for Jean. What does May do? You're just going to get that as well. And Pei can go into construction. Okay. So, we are currently building a big, long ladder up to the top where there's quite a bit of just hydrogen. I've also built this pipe. Idle? Okay, that's not very good. Let's solve that. So, we're going to use 1 hydrogen generator. We'll connect it up. And a smart battery. Okay, we can afford it. And using automation. Just gonna connect it up. Super temporary stuff. Gonna do the same here. A pump and some automation. Gas element sensor. I think here works because the pump should pump in this cross shape, so if anything below here is hydrogen, then we should allow it. And we'll do a filter gate on 5 seconds, which is the default. Okay, so it just finished building the power wire. Just gonna cut this there for clarity's sake. And we should have hydrogen coming online. How do we manage to get trapped there? Good grief. Okay, so the colony was mostly going pretty well, and we were having a few small problems, but because we had power, we had our rooms, we had food, it was all mostly going okay. And we were eating frost buns, which we were not growing, so we had to venture into one of the cold biomes quite a bit. But that's all fine. It's all working out well. I made the fridge that got sleet wheat. I made it a sweep only fridge so that we only swept what we needed, and it was getting a bit annoying. So I decided that I wanted to use all the oxygen masks lying around and give them a better time getting down there. And I wasn't paying too much attention after that, so I accidentally let a dupe with quite low athletics and also had slime lung, so they ended up perishing. So they suffocated, and yeah, that kind of brings us to present day. Yeah, it's been a while since I've worked on this video, and it's all because of this death. I was really just thinking what I'm supposed to do with this death, because I'm not supposed to let a dupe die, let's say, in this challenge, but it's also not really in the spirit of reloading. So I've come up with kind of a plan. I think for every dupe that dies, I'm gonna enable the bionic booster pack and print a bionic dupe. So yeah, you can see dead, suffocation, popped eardrums, slime lung. You must have had like absolutely terrible athletics at this point. Wonder if I can see it here. Okay, yeah, minus 2 athletics. So that's why they've perished. Yep, duplicates have died. But another thing is, I think for this episode, I'm just gonna quickly bang together a food solution. So originally we were going to this biome to get our sleet wheat. You can see most of it's gone, and it's melting away. Is this biome? I think it's also been harvested. a lot. So yeah, that's why we're ending up in this biome. And yeah, we do need a way to come down here, or we need to grow some food. So I'm going to start that now, and we're going to grow mushrooms. Okay, so let's wrap up the episode. I've planted here 3. That's 3 dupes worth. That's 6 dupes worth, and here I'll have 7, 8, 9. So in total 9 dupes worth of dust caps, because we are trying to transition away from just going kind of far away to get sleep wheat to make frostburns. We do have quite a lot still, so we're going to get carried over, but eventually we should transition to dust caps. It'll use up the slime on the colony, which is fine. And we'll probably mine out all this slime biome. So yeah, that's good. Another thing is, this is just a bit of micromanagement, if you will. So I realized this sleep wheat grain, it was on this tile, of course. As sleep wheat, it drops naturally. It can accumulate because of deep freeze. Once I mined this open, there was a little bit of polluted oxygen that would pass over, and it would mean, because it would be in a polluted atmosphere, it would be -6 per cycle. So they would decay and rot. So I just moved it 1 tile over and dropped it 2 tiles down. So it's in carbon dioxide and it's not going to touch polluted oxygen ever again. So that should last a lot longer. So that's just some micromanagement that you could do. It's a little tip. And yeah, this episode is all about just getting stable. We are all stable. I did close them off from going down here because, so yeah, they don't really go down here because their athletics sucks. I'm gonna make them run on the manual generators in the hamster wheels for a while, I think, off camera, because that's just a lot nicer, and I'll build the base out a bit more. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap up this episode, so I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.